And welcome back to the subscriber special.
The door was locked with a high security padlock.
No way was I going to get through there.
The door was locked.
No way.
The chapel looked like it was open.
George, the chapel looks like it's been built right into the rock.
You're right. We should take a look inside.
I wonder, how old do you think the chapel is?
I'm guessing the exterior is a couple of 100 years old, but the inside? Who knows? Some parts could be much older.
You think somehow this chapel might be connected to the face in the rock?
At a guess, I would say so. Hey, look! It's Pearl and Dwayne.
Come on, honey bun. Things ain't that bad.
You just don't understand. Today's been a disaster.
But
The monastery was closed. We got stuck in the cable car. And now this place is a building site.
oh, sweetie pie.
This was supposed to be the spiritual highlight of our trip, Dwayne. But the only spirit I see is that rotten turpentine over there.
Oh, heck.
Clearly, the Hendersons weren't having a great vacation.
Nico and George examine the face rock. Enter the chapel on the left. Talk to Dwayne. Pearl knows all about St. Cova Chapel. Pearl wants to experience. Yeah, I've just got a guide for reference here because I can't. This is one bit I find really, really awkward to try and.
This was one building site that needed Mr. Tidy. They smelt exotic. Mother always said,
I need to
"Cleanliness is never
reference so I can do it properly.
Great to see you again, Mr. Henderson.
Great to see you too, George. Great work back there with the cable car.
Is Pearl okay?
I wish. I'm afraid we're having one of those days where everything goes wrong.
Tell me about it. Is there anything we can do for Pearl?
I sure as hell hope so, George. She's been planning and researching this trip for years. Our little pilgrimage. And Santa Cova Chapel here was the cherry on the cake. Not a thing she don't know about this place. Madonna, blah, blah, blah. Chapel built in, yada, yada, yada. She's Santa Cova's very own walking encyclopedia. Well, weeping encyclopedia, I should say.
So, what brings you to Santa Cova?
Pearl's idea from the get-go. Ever since the unfortunate car accident back home, she's been scouring those pilgrimage brochures. Gotta be full of wonder and life-changing imagery. Got to have penance potential. Got to offer a real spiritual experience.
Well, I'm sure this place will be very spiritual once it's finished.
If the chapel's not what she expected, how about the monastery?
Hot dog, no. That place is for tourists, not pilgrims.
You said she expected a spiritual experience?
Well, that's what the brochure promised. Pilgrimages, little monk fellas, singing, shafts of light, the whole shebang.
Smells, bells, and heavenly lights.
Yeah, that's what the lady wanted.
What have you been up to since we last met in Claramonte?
Well, there was that little sideshow in Rome, but we can't talk about that. You know why, George.
I do? I mean, I do.
Why?
Top secret.
Need to know, Nico. Dwayne is, snoozer.
Don't you mean a sleeper?
No way, honey. A snoozer's at least 2 pay grades up from a sleeper. So I hear. Anyway, I don't believe I've had the pleasure, Miss,
Nicole Collar. Call me Nico.
Well, how's about that? So this is the beautiful Nico. No wonder you've been hiding her away from me, Georgie boy.
Gosh, no,
It's lovely to finally meet you too, Mr. Henderson. George has told me so much about you.
Oh, call me Dwayne, my dear. And let me assure you of one thing. Everything you've heard is quite possibly true.
Dwayne was loud, large, and short-sighted, but boy was he a charmer.
Oh, excuse me. Pearl needs me.
Alright,
Hey,
let's talk to
there, you.
Nico.
Pearl could be a mine of information about the chapel, if we could just cheer her up. Nico? So, what did you mean by smells, bells, and heavenly lights?
I'm talking about the authentic church experience.
Oh, I see. Smells, bells, and heavenly lights. Got any ideas for smells?
Have you found any incense? Church smells don't get much more authentic than incense.
Poor Pearl.
She's in quite a state. If we're going to find the tabula, her knowledge is key.
So, all our hopes are pinned on an American tourist.
I pin my hopes on an American tourist all the time.
Any idea how old the chapel is?
That's what I asked you.
So, we basically don't know anything.
That's the long and short of it, George.
Alright, so we've got some wood shavings that we took
There
earlier.
was a handful of aromatic sandalwood shavings.
And what you need to do, you need to combine it with the Brett.
I sprayed the shavings with Brett. Delightful.
And if we go over to here,
An empty, coffee-stained mug had been left by the altar.
and we put the wood shavings
Put
with
the
the Brett
scented shavings
in the mug, and then use a match on the mug.
I lit the scented shavings. A sweet aroma started to fill the room.
Heavenly light. Check the Black Madonna and the candle in the ceiling.
A statue of the Madonna and Child watched over the chapel. It was a stone carving showing a kneeling figure. Praying to the Madonna, probably.
Okay, so we need to lower, then use the matches.
I lit the candles on the candelabra.
And use the mirror.
I rested the side mirror precariously on the candelabra.
And then finally,
I secured the mirror in place with some yarn. Now that was something. The light from the candelabra spilled over the Black Madonna like waves of spiritual goodness in candle form. Hi, Dwayne.
Hey, George.
Hey, that tune you were whistling earlier, it sounded familiar.
Oh, it's Schubert's Ave Maria. In our courting days, me and Pearl used to hang out with the Campanology Society. It was Pearl's favorite.
Did you see the Black Madonna?
Oh, you betcha. She's the little lady we came to see, though Pearl's in too much of a state to even look at her.
What can you tell me about Santa Cova?
Well, Pearl's the expert, not me. She knows everything there is to know about this chapel.
How's Pearl doing?
She seems to be feeling a bit better. The way the light falls on the Madonna. Maybe this place isn't so bad after all.
How you holding up?
Me? Oh, I'm fine. Pearl, on the other hand.
I didn't think... I was... I didn't... He... I didn't... I didn't... I thought maybe a squirt of Brett might cheer her up.
Very considerate of you, George, but Pearl prefers a flowery scent.
I knew... I didn't... I didn't... He wouldn't want to see it. Good thing we had the radio.
In my line of work, I'm always prepared.
For what?
Well, thieves. I gotta protect my lunchbox somehow, George.
Dwayne wouldn't be interested. Do you think these flowers might cheer Pearl up?
That's a lovely thought, George. But she's allergic. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, all right.
There, dear.
The view over the valley was spectacular.
If we look at the toolbox, and we've got the hammer. Now, if we look at this, this is something. This is the thing we use to make the sound that Pearl's singing. Dwayne's whistling a tune, and obviously here is something we usually use this to our advantage. I got stuck on this, so I had to look it up. So if we check the scaffolding,
the scaffolding was a little loose. Everything rattled. It made a surprisingly dulcet noise.
use a mason's hammer on the 2 paint cans on the scaffolding.
The hammer produced a promising sound. That sounded like an A.
What are you up to?
Look, I made a Churchenspiel. A. A. Well, that was fun.
Okay.
The hammer produced a promising sound. B, if I wasn't mistaken. Wrong.
Core, there's a traffic cone additional grater that sounds wrong.
didn't sound right.
Take the turpentine from the lower shelf. Use the turpentine on the left paint can.
Well, that was fun. I poured the turpentine into the paint can. The hammer produced a promising sound.
Okay, so we need to make the music. So now we have all the notes. We need to hit the drum.
G.
Left paint can.
An F sharp.
Drum again.
G.
Fire extinguisher.
B.
Right painting.
A.
Drum.
G. I had it. It was the tune Dwayne was humming.
George, that's Ave Maria. Let me have a go.
Wow, you really nailed that, Nico.
Yep, this mop really is pretty special. Leave this to me.
Pumpkin? Oh my!
What?
The sound of angels, the lights of heaven, the smell of piety, and
Yes?
the Madonna, I do believe. Tears. She's crying, Dwayne. The Madonna's crying. Father, son, little Timmy. Wrong side of the road. Not my fault. Broken leg. Compensation claim. Forgive me, poor Timmy.
Oh, Pearl, my precious. You're such a sensitive soul.
Well, now that's done. I feel my soul's floating on air. We can get on with our pilgrimage, Dwayne.
Just another 1,000 clicks to go.
Pearl was back to her usual cheery self.
Alright, so I've got an item coming, and it's not going to be here. It's going to be here between 1607 and 1800 hours. Which gives me time to do this LP.
Mrs. Henderson,
More of the LP.
George, dear boy.
how you feeling?
Oh, just fine, thank you. I have just seen a miracle, George. It's all gonna be all right from now.
I'm sure it is, Mrs. Henderson. I'm sure it is. So, Pearl, what have you been up to since we last met?
Well, George, I've been on a journey.
Oh, really? Well, what kind of journey?
A spiritual one. A journey along the road to enlightenment.
Wow. And is that what brought you here?
It is. Though Santa Cova is but one step on that road.
What's so special about Santa Cova?
It's an ancient and very holy place. I've spent the last year researching it, and I can truly say there is nothing I do not know about it.
I don't suppose you'd know anything about that rock out there?
No, only that for 1,000 years, people have claimed to see a face in its shapes.
Take a look at these papers.
That document has the Vatican seal on it. You better keep it safe, honey. I bet there's some people who would love to get their hands on it.
Oh, you have no idea. What do you make of this?
It looks like an Ouroboros.
Oh, you recognize it? Let me show you something else. Can you tell me anything about this painting?
Oh, nothing, dear. Apart from the obvious Gnostic connotations, of course.
What?
You know, the Dominicans. All those Gnostic saints. Doubting Thomas, Judas, and you see the woman in the red cloak? The infamous Mary Magdalene herself.
A lady in red.
That's enough now, Dwayne. You know my feelings about her.
Pearl knew her Gnostic onions, all right.
Then there's the Ouroboros, of course.
Something special about it?
Well, if I remember rightly, there was an Ouroboros right here in this chapel. Back in the 30s and 40s, the chapel was renovated. The workmen uncovered numerous symbols carved in the rock. Amongst them was a fine Ouroboros.
But that's amazing. So, where is it?
Oh, it's not there now.
Oh.
It was considered blasphemous, so they plastered over it. Sweetheart, I think it's time for us to go. The road to enlightenment waits for no woman.
'Tis the pilgrim's lot, George.
It was so nice to see you again. And meet your girlfriend.
We're not...
Take this radio, Nico. Never know when you might need it. Keep an eye on our boy George here.
Poor little lost lamb.
I'm not...
Don't worry, this little lamb's in safe hands. Bon voyage.
Bye-bye, dears.
See ya! Nico, don't even start.
Little lamb?
Let's focus on the task in hand, shall we? Okay, this Ouroboros that Pearl mentioned...
You're right. We need to find it.
Right, and to do that, we simply do this.
I hoped this was the right thing to do. Hey, Nico, I found the Ouroboros.
So what now?
Pearl was right. The plaster had covered an Ouroboros. I pushed the Ouroboros, but nothing happened.
Go to the right and take the candle.
There was a recess in the wall with a Latin word carved above it. Puritas, purity. I'd seen that word before somewhere.
I never noticed that before.
What was that noise? I knew it. Another secret passageway.
Amazing, George. How did you do it?
Just another case of the old Stobart magic, I guess, Nico. It looks a little dark in there.
Are you scared, George?
Of course not. Just worried about you tripping. That's all.
Oh dear. It took us automatically in there.
Whoa, this is one dark cave.
I think we're going to continue.
It's the door that worries me, George.
Well, I'm sure the door will open again if we give it a minute. No need to panic. Now we panic. Help! I gotta say, Nico, you're pretty calm about this.
Traveling with you, George, I've got used to this kind of thing. If I panicked every time a door shuts behind us, probably forever, well...
You're right. What was I thinking? You see if you can get the door open, and I'll go check out the dark, evil-smelling cave. Fumbling around in the dark wasn't going to be fun. But heck, I'd spent a lifetime doing it, so what was new? The wall felt like it had something carved into it. It was a small, round object made of fabric with a musty smell. The thing had branches like a tree. It felt cold and smooth, like worn stone. It was stone, with a recess in it and, an oily liquid in it. There was some kind of thin twine in the middle of it, too. It felt cold and smooth, with some indentations along the surface. Face, arms, it was definitely a statue of some sort. It was cold to the touch and felt like carved rock. A large stone bowl with some kind of oily liquid in it.
Alright, we've only got one match.
Hey, Nico, I think I found some light. Whoa!
It must be Guénon. Ramon said he disappeared while searching the mountains for the tabula.
So this is where he ended up, dead in a cave. And on closer inspection, I'd even say blown your own brains out dead.
Okay, George, I get the point. What is this place?
Who knows? But look at the Gnostic symbols.
You're right. The colors, the trees. But who is she?
It looks like the Virgin Mary, but I don't think it is.
What do you mean?
The red robes and that whole off-the-shoulder look? It must be Mary Magdalene, of course. Marquez told me that the Gnostics revered her. This place, it's some kind of Gnostic shrine.
There's got to be something to release that door. Maybe amongst these carvings.
But if it was that obvious, don't you think Guénon would have found it?
Okay, move the cursor to the far right of the screen and fill the... see, rows, take the pillar...
The pillar had been carved into the shape of a tree and painted green. I knew it represented the tree of life. The pillar had been sculpted into a tree and then painted blue. I knew it was supposed to be the tree of knowledge. The carved figure had once been green. I wondered if it was a representation of Jehovah. A large carving of the tabula veritatis symbol. All the other figures in the scene seemed to be supplicating themselves to it. Blue paint was peeling from the carved figure. I wondered if it was an image of Lucifer. A group of figures looked up towards the tabula. They were all colored red. I'd seen something like it before. There were ancient scratches on the plinth, as if someone had moved the statue. I'm sure that this is Mary Magdalene.
The red robes. It all makes sense. The Madonna would be wearing blue. So, who's the child?
Well, according to the Gnostic Gospels, when Mary kissed the lips of Jesus, she,
Oh, I see.
Yep,
So the Gnostics think that the suckling child is...
I guess so. Getting up close and personal to Gainon's leathery corpse wasn't pleasant, but we had to figure out how to get out of there. Gainon had certainly been busy before he blew his brains out. I wonder what he'd been up to. It had to be Gainon, in which case the body had been there for decades. There was a bullet hole in the side of his head. Just like us, he'd been trapped. He'd chosen suicide. It was a fedora, just like the one in Gainon's trunk back at the Castel. The years hadn't been kind to it. I picked up the old gun. It was too corroded and rusty to ever be fired again. The photograph was of an ancient clay tablet. Gainon had written on it. Someone, presumably Gainon, had taken the time to translate the inscription. At a glance, the inscription seemed to relate to the exploits of someone called the Sun King. The symbol La on I meant the Sun King looked.
This is another place that I actually get really stuck on.
Nico,
What?
is this what I think it is? It must be the Tabula Veritatis.
So Genan did find it.
It's so small, so innocent looking. Why would Simeon call it evil? Why so many deaths for this?
And why go to such lengths to keep it hidden?
Unless it is as genuinely dangerous as Simeon claimed.
The question now is, what do we do with it?
It was an old flashlight. It looked like it died around the same time as Gainon. It was an old water canteen. The contents had long since been drunk. Ex luce veritas. Out of light, truth. I'd seen the same words on the fresco at Castel de Sens.
Okay, Ganesh that you're ready. Someone stored the Sun King, the glyphs are soon at the end. Click on the glyphs and note the 5 red letters beside them.
I prized the map out from under the arm of the corpse. It looked like Gainon had scrawled some kind of last testament onto this map. My friends, I know that you will eventually find me, but by then it will be too late. I have decoded the tabula, and I know our destiny lies in paradise. The key to the power of God is in our hands. I die secure in the knowledge that you will now be able to complete my work. Tell my family that I died doing my duty, that I surrender my life gladly to the cause. In the light of the day, these words will fade, like our souls. But rest assured that when they do, their echoes will guide us to where we will meet once again. I'm not sure, but it looks like crafty old Gainon left a secret message in his testament.
Oh, excuse me. I'm tired. Ugh. Okay, so I had to use a guide. Every time I do this, I have to use a guide. Um, so, to the map, goes gain and row is suicide on the map. Certain letters are black, in bold black. Notes words on suicide note. So it's A, B, C, D, E. Obviously, these are locations on the map. Can you see the locations on the map? I never noticed that before. I didn't really notice that, but I still don't understand how you work this out without looking at a guide for reference. So, remember game's last words. Sid disappeared. Lately, it was only 5. Use the lamp on the map. That might help me.
When I held the map up to the flames, something started to change. The writing on the map started to react to the heat. Well, I'll be darned.
What is it?
At a guess, the locations on the map might match up with the ones he's marked on this photograph. That wouldn't work. If this letter is the same location as the one marked D on Gainan's translation, this must be Sunset Mountain. If this letter matched the one on Gainan's translation, this must be the location of the Sun City. If the letters match the ones on Gainan's translation, this must be the Mountain Kingdom. If this letter matched the one on Gainan's translation, this must be the location of the Three Rivers region. If this letter is the same location as the one marked D on Gainan's translation, this must be Sunset Mountain. If the letter E matches the one on Gainan's translation, this must be the location of the Young Cities. According to the translation, some guy called the Sun King once had the Tabula Veritatis in his possession. The symbol on the tablets looked similar to the ones etched into the face of the Tabula Veritatis.
So we need to match up. So Sun City is this weird symbol here. B is this triangle thing. C is this weird thing here. D is this. And E is this weird symbol.
I guess that finding the tabula was the easy part. Figuring out its purpose was a different proposition. The tabula was engraved with a number of curious-looking symbols. These symbols looked just like the ones on the photograph of the clay tablet. The symbol on the tablets looked similar to the ones etched into the face of the Tabula Veritatis. She translates as Mountain Kingdom. Gainan had marked this symbol with the letter B. If Gainan's translation is correct, the symbol La-Ha-Shi represents the Sun City region. Gainan had marked this symbol in red with the letter A. Du-A-Shi apparently means the Two-River region. If Gainan's translation is correct, the symbol La-Ji-Shi represents the Sunset Mountain. Sounds like a theme park ride. The symbol Zhu-Ha was translated as the Young Cities. Gainan had marked this symbol with the letter E. I wonder if it relates to the secret markings on Gainan's map. I wondered if Gainan's notes on the photograph might help me decode the tabula.
Okay. I hate this.
Shi translates as Mountain Kingdom. Gainan had marked this symbol with the letter B.
I never can work this out. I never can. Okay. Right, so the top line is begin Sun City travel Five-day East River. 5 East River.
That was the first row of symbols cracked. It was all starting to make sense.
I don't know. I don't see how anyone could work this out on their first playthrough. I mean, it had me confused. It really, really had me confused. I was really confused by this, and that's why I just don't understand any of this. It doesn't mean much. It's confusing. Okay, so travel south. Six-day desert. Source. Four.
So, these are directions. Begin at Sun City, travel 5 days east to a river, travel south 6 days, through a desert, to the source of 4 rivers. Hey, Nico! I've cracked it!
Fantastic.
The Tabula Veritatis. It's a set of directions. Take a look at this map. The inscription says to start here at Sun City. Gainan hid the location in his map. It then says to travel 5 days east to a river, then turn south and travel 6 days through a desert to the source of 4 rivers.
And what is that?
I'm not sure, but it must be important, right?
Right. Important enough for the Gnostics to try and keep it a secret for thousands of years. And guess what? I think I may have found a way out.
You have?
Look, while you were busy playing Ancient Scholar, I found this.
What did it do?
I'm not sure.
It didn't open the door.
Perhaps we're missing something.
Must be. If Ganon died looking for a way out, there has to be more to it than just a hidden button.
Then let's keep looking.
So this next bit, you need to use the medallion.
Warranted a closer look. The medallion fitted snugly into the socket. Would you take a look at that?
The light from the medallion is illuminating this green figure.
This could be our ticket out of here.
If you're right, that explains why Ganon never got out of here. He didn't have the medallion.
In the lost language of medieval mechanisms, that noise was the sound of disappointment, unfulfilled dreams, and sadness. Nothing had happened.
Hang on a minute. Right, so that didn't work. So now you have to pick up the medallion again. I am using the guide for reference here because this bit I get really stuck on.
That sounded like something important happened.
Let's go to the statue of the and click to turn it to face the front.
I gave the statue a push, and it turned anti-clockwise. Nothing had happened. I gave the statue another shove. Nothing had happened.
What do I do then? It doesn't even tell you anything. Face the blue. Ah. Hang on a minute. Face the front, then turn it to face the blue.
I gave the statue another shove.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I can never work this out! Place them down in the bottom left. See the light focus on the red sculptures. Focus on the blue.
Nothing had happened.
Fuck's sake.
I knew it was supposed to be the tree of knowledge.
Stop turning off screen. Why does it keep doing that? Every time I want to look at something, it goes off after about 10 seconds.
That sounded like something important happened.
Right, I am now stuck. I have no idea what this is going on about. I can't understand it. No, I've done this fucking wrong. Click it till it faces the tree of knowledge.
I knew it represented the tree of life. I knew it was supposed to be the tree of knowledge. Nothing had happened.
I don't understand this. I don't understand this bullshit puzzle. Now I'm starting to get annoyed with this game. I'm starting to get really fucking fucked off with this game. This puzzle is just stupid. Why can't it just be that it's a simple order, and every single time you turn this fucking statue, he jumps off the fucking thing. And I've got my cat rustling around in my background. It's really off-putting. All I can hear in the back of my ears is just her walking around, her fiddling with something that she's sitting on. And it really bugs me because I can't fucking focus. And I've only got her. She scrabbles around in my bags, everything. But I'm starting to get seriously fucked off with this game. Bottom light, okay, that's... No!
I gave the statue another shot. Nothing had happened.
I've done this wrong. That's what I've done. Maybe this will reset it. Either that or it's just... don't keep fucking switching off like that!
Nothing had happened.
Right. Now I want to do it so it works. Right. Tree of knowledge.
I knew it was supposed to be the tree of knowledge. Nothing had happened.
Right. I need to do it so it goes round completely to this one.
I gave the statue another shot. Is that the door?
Thank God. I was getting worried we'd be trapped here, just the two of us forever.
There could have been worse ways of being trapped forever.
It is the door. Come on, George.
And we will go through there in the next video, guys, because that's all we've got time for. It's been an extra long video today, and yeah, been a very long extra video today. All for your enjoyment, all for my in this last little while, being for my displeasure. So I thank you very much for watching, as always. And next time we will venture through the doorway and get out of here. But for now, guys, that's it. Take care. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye for now.